Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang.
Someone please help me, this song is stuck in my head from last 5 days.
Here we are, children. Come and get your lollipop.
80 or 90% of conversations I've started with anybody about the film start with the phrase, I was so scared of that child catcher. I had nightmares about that child catcher.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang wasn't just a magical family film. It was a production nightmare wrapped in childhood nostalgia, financial disasters, and pure creative chaos that traumatized a generation while bankrupting its creators. One car actually worked but nearly drowned 2 extras. One villain was so terrifying he wasn't even in the original book. And one budget overrun was so catastrophic, it lost $8 million despite being a box office hit. These are the 40 weirdest facts about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But wait until the end, because the bonus fact reveals why this beloved children's movie hides one of Hollywood's darkest production secrets. Fasten your seatbelts. This ride gets weird. Fact 1. The Dick Van. Death-defying dedication.
Stand back. Keep clear.
Dick Van insisted on filming the elaborate Toot Sweets dance sequence without any warm-up at age 40, bringing raw physical energy that nearly caused serious injury. The demanding choreography required hours of continuous dancing while Van refused safety measures or preparation breaks. His commitment to authentic spontaneity created the film's most memorable musical moment through sheer artistic madness. Sometimes the best performances come from actors who risk everything for pure creative energy. Fact 2. The Julie Andrews rejection that shocked Hollywood.
Just the same, you shouldn't be rushing across the road like that. You know you might have been killed.
Julie Andrews was offered the role of Truly Scrumptious, but declined, forcing producers into a frantic scramble during pre-production. This rejection came immediately after Mary Poppins made her the world's most sought-after musical actress, making her refusal shocking to studio executives. Sally Ann Howes stepped in, creating entirely different chemistry than originally planned, sometimes the biggest stars sense disaster before anyone else realizes what's coming. Fact 3. The child catcher book mystery that changes everything.
There are children here somewhere.
Absolutely terrifying child catcher character doesn't exist anywhere in Ian Fleming's original book. He was created either by Roald Dahl or the director, with disputed authorship that suggests something disturbing about his creation process. This sinister addition transformed the source material from innocent adventure into psychological horror that traumatized entire generations of children worldwide. Sometimes the most memorable movie characters never existed in the original source material at all. Fact 4. The Phil Collins cutting room floor disaster.
Nobody else could think of them. Yeah, after all, what makes the battle worth the fighting?
Future rock star Phil Collins appeared as an extra, but was completely cut from the final film due to a visible bandage on his head that couldn't be hidden by professional makeup techniques. This minor medical issue ended his brief movie career before it began because of perfectionist continuity standards that couldn't accommodate any visual inconsistencies. Sometimes future global celebrities get edited out of classic movies for the most mundane technical reasons imaginable. Fact 5. The Dick Van. No accent, contract, demand.
Well, I don't know, but I'm not just going to stand here.
Are you mad?
Dick Van revealed that he only agreed to take the lead role on the absolute condition that he wouldn't have to attempt any English accent whatsoever. This unusual contract demand stemmed from the intense critical backlash he received for his widely panned Cockney accent in Mary Poppins, which critics and British audiences called one of the worst accents in film history. Van's accent trauma became so severe that he contractually protected himself from future linguistic humiliation. Imagine sitting cross-legged on shag carpet, eyes wide as that ridiculous car sprouted wings for the first time. Fact 6. The $8 million success disaster.
Bulgaria welcomes a brilliant Professor Potts.
Despite being a top 10 box office hit in 1969, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang lost United Artists an estimated $8 million due to catastrophic budget overruns and production delays. The studio spent money faster than audiences bought tickets, creating a financial paradox where commercial success meant studio bankruptcy. This disaster taught Hollywood that even beloved family films could destroy studios through uncontrolled creative ambition. Fact 7. The Roald Dahl screenplay. Humiliation.
To the Potts automatic and hygienic electronic haircutting machine.
Roald Dahl's screenplay was brutally despised by critics and industry insiders, with some calling it a piece of shit, while Dahl wasn't even invited to the film's premiere. The celebrated children's author struggled catastrophically to adapt Ian Fleming's story into filmable material, creating script problems that plagued every aspect of production. Even beloved authors can create unwatchable screenplays that embarrass everyone involved. Fact 8. The airship crash catastrophe. A semi-rigid helium airship built for aerial sequences crashed into power lines during filming and was later completely destroyed by a violent storm. This expensive special effect became a dangerous liability that threatened cast safety and production schedules throughout the troubled filming process. Sometimes practical effects become more practical disasters than movie magic. Fact 9. The helium balloon death traps. The elaborate flying car sequences required dangerous helium balloon rigs that regularly malfunctioned, endangering stunt performers and child actors during every aerial filming attempt. These primitive flying effects predated modern safety standards, creating genuine life-threatening risk during shots that appeared magical on screen. Revolutionary special effects often require accepting revolutionary levels of danger from cast and crew. Fact 10. The Cubby Broccoli money escalation strategy.
I think they're up there in the castle with their grandfather. Have you seen anything of them?
Dick Van was initially reluctant to participate in the film because he thought the script had too many plot holes and unanswered questions that made no narrative sense. Producer Albert Cubby Broccoli desperately wanted to reunite Julie Andrews and Van after the massive success of Mary Poppins, but both stars turned him down repeatedly. However, each time Van said no, Cubby returned with increasingly larger financial offers until the money became impossible to refuse. Fact 11. The miracle car that actually worked.
We're off.
6 Chitty cars were built for production, but only one was fully functional and roadworthy, now owned by director Peter Jackson in his private collection. This hero car combined a Ford V6 engine with cedar body construction, aluminum hood, and an authentic WWI fighter plane dashboard. The functional vehicle could actually drive, fly, and float, making it genuine working movie magic rather than static set decoration. Fact 12. The $805,000 auction record that shocked collectors.
Oh, yes. Nursemaid, private tutor, chief, cook, and bottle washer, everything.
The main hero car, designated Gen 11, sold at auction for $805,000, making it one of the most expensive movie props ever purchased by private collectors. This astronomical price reflected both the car's functional capabilities and its profound cultural significance in film history. Sometimes movie props become more financially valuable than the actual movies that featured them. Fact 13. The WWI fighter plane, dashboard with political secrets.
You'll have to find time to see me, because I have a few things to say to him.
Chitty's distinctive dashboard came from an actual World War I fighter plane, while its paint scheme used suffragette colors, purple, green, and white, to honor women's voting rights. This historical detail deliberately connected fantasy transportation to real wartime technology and political movements, adding authentic heritage to fictional magical transportation. Authentic period details often make fictional creations feel more believable than pure imagination. Fact 14. The Gen 11 license plate. Innuendo secret.
Why don't you back, Grandpa?
The hero car's distinctive license plate, Gen 11, was deliberately chosen as sophisticated coded innuendo that most family audiences wouldn't recognize or understand. This hidden adult joke demonstrated how clever filmmakers could include mature references that parents would appreciate without corrupting children's innocent viewing experience. Sometimes the most entertaining family movies include sophisticated jokes that only adults can understand and appreciate. Fact 15. The 92-year-old DIY replica masterpiece.
Well, it needs a little work, but there's a fine engine under here.
A 92-year-old man built his own detailed Chitty replica using a mobility scooter base with household items like pedal bins and picture frames for authentic visual details. This homemade tribute proved that movie magic could inspire real-world creativity across all age groups and technical skill levels imaginable. Sometimes the best movie tributes come from amateur enthusiasts rather than professional Hollywood prop makers. Remember hiding behind the couch when that terrifying child catcher appeared with his cage and candy? Fact 16. The Fantasticators' Steampunk Revolution.
Hang on, we're coming to a bend. You're going too far. No, I'm not. Hang on.
Roland Emmett, dubbed the Fantasticator, designed all of Chitty's wacky inventions and contraptions, bringing steampunk aesthetics decades before the genre had an official name. His mechanical imagination created believable fantasy technology that audiences accepted as scientifically plausible, despite obvious physical impossibility. The best fantasy technology follows its own rules so consistently that audiences forget it's completely impossible. Fact 17, the $750,000 stage prop world record.
And you use a sturdy pole.
The West End stage production's Chitty prop cost 750,000 pounds, making it officially the most expensive theatrical stage prop ever constructed for live performance anywhere in the world. This record-breaking expense reflected the technical complexity required to recreate movie magic in live theater settings with audience safety considerations. Adapting movie magic for live theater often costs significantly more than the original movie effects themselves. Fact 18, the Sally Ann Howes mathematical choreography nightmare.
What? In this dress? Oh, don't be ridiculous, Mr. Pot.
Sally Ann Howes found the doll on the music box scene to be one of the most challenging parts of the entire film production. The choreography was precisely timed, almost mathematical in its exactness, and demanded perfect coordination between movement and music. She could either perform the pantomime accurately or sing the song clearly, but achieving both simultaneously required superhuman focus. Sometimes the most magical movie moments demand the most technically impossible performances. Fact 19, the Dick Van Arthritis Diagnosis Dance.
The flying car! We've captured the flying...
Dick Van recalls that while filming the physically demanding Toot Sweets number, he felt a sudden pop in his leg at age 40. After seeing a doctor, he was told his body was completely full of arthritis that would limit his dancing career. In response, Van immediately leapt up and danced energetically, leaving the medical professional completely stunned by his defiant performance. Nearly 50 years later, at age 92, he danced unaided in his cameo as Mr. Dawes Jr. in Mary Poppins Returns. Fact 20, the Amherst Villiers Automotive Engineering Consultation.
Hi, Chitty, little Chitty, anywhere we go, on Chitty Chitty we depend.
Not trusting cartoon artists to design the magical car with proper mechanical credibility, Ian Fleming initially asked his personal friend Amherst Villiers, a genuine automotive engineer, to create authentic vehicle specifications for the fantasy automobile. This technical consultation demonstrated Fleming's commitment to mechanical authenticity even in children's fantasy entertainment. Sometimes the best fantasy requires real expertise to make impossible inventions seem believable. Fact 21, the child catcher carriage ballet accident.
Here we are, children. Come and get your lollipop.
When the child catcher's horse-drawn carriage accidentally tipped over during a dangerous filming sequence, Robert Helpman gracefully hopped out while maintaining complete character, which Dick Van described as pure ballet. This unplanned moment showcased Helpman's extensive theatrical training and professional composure under unexpected dangerous circumstances. Sometimes the most memorable movie moments happen by complete accident during dangerous situations. Fact 22, the authentic castle locations across continents.
What's that? What's going on? What's happening?
Filming occurred at spectacular real locations, including Turville Windmill, Box Hill, Neuschwanstein Castle, Beachy Head, and Rothenburg ob der Tauber across multiple countries and continents. These authentic European settings provided irreplaceable production value that studio sets couldn't match while creating massive logistical nightmares for international filming coordination. Real historical locations often provide better movie magic than the most elaborate artificial sets. Fact 23, the Me Ol' Bamboo, physical torture.
A flyer in an aerial plane.
The Me Ol' Bamboo musical number became the most physically demanding routine Dick Van ever performed in his entire career, requiring extreme athletic coordination and endurance that pushed him beyond safe limits. The elaborate dance sequence pushed the 40-year-old actor far beyond his physical comfort zone, while maintaining the high energy needed for successful musical comedy performance. The most iconic performances often require performers to exceed their natural physical limitations dangerously. Fact 24, the real Neuschwanstein Castle connection.
And what's that underneath?
That's Grandpa's hut.
Baron Bomburst's castle is actually a real-life castle built in the 1800s for the German king Ludwig II of Bavaria, often called the Mad King. The fairy tale fortress later inspired the iconic Sleeping Beauty castle at Disneyland, which became the symbol of the magical world of Disney and eventually the Walt Disney Pictures Studio logo. Sometimes real castles are more fantastical than anything Hollywood could construct. Fact 25. The stage posh dance etymology error.
Hello! What's your game then?
The theatrical posh dance number referenced the popular myth that posh meant poured out starboard home, creating elaborate choreography around completely false etymology that audiences accepted as historical truth. This musical sequence built entertainment value on historical misinformation that viewers accepted as educational fact through confident presentation. Sometimes the most entertaining content comes from believable lies rather than boring historical facts. Fact 26. The Robert Helpman off-camera transformation.
And if there are children here, my friend.
Robert Helpman's young co-stars fondly remember him as warm and gentle behind the scenes, remarkably different from his absolutely terrifying on-screen child catcher persona. Heather Ripley, who played Jemima, recalled that he would pull funny faces and tell jokes just before cameras rolled, often making it nearly impossible for the children to keep straight faces during serious scenes. Sometimes the scariest movie villains are the gentlest people in real life. Fact 27. The Ian Fleming hospital bed inspiration.
Children!
Ian Fleming wrote the original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang book from his hospital bed while recovering from a serious heart attack, creating magical stories for his son during a personal medical crisis. This health emergency inspired Fleming to shift from adult spy fiction to children's fantasy, demonstrating how personal mortality scares could redirect creative output toward family themes. Sometimes the best children's stories come from adults directly confronting their own mortality. Fact 28. The Dick Van Plastic surgery doctor rejection.
Are you going to take on the whole Bulgarian army single-handed?
Dick Van admitted with characteristic humor that after filming Wrapped, he actually went to see a plastic surgeon thanks to constant ribbing from the director and makeup artists about his distinctive nose. But the doctor took one professional look at him and said, "You're too famous to change that face now," before sending him directly back home without any procedures. Sometimes distinctive features become more valuable than conventional beauty in entertainment careers. Fact 29. The Gert Frobe voice dubbing consistency.
Inventor extraordinary.
Excuse me, sir.
Few James Bond fans would argue against Goldfinger being one of the series' highest points, and much of its success came from Gert Frobe's unforgettable performance as Auric Goldfinger. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang producers specifically tapped him to unleash the same sinister charm as Baron Bombburst. In both Goldfinger and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Frobe's thick German accent and limited English skills prompted filmmakers to completely dub his voice with other actors. Fact 30. The Count Zborowski racing car's inspiration. The name Chitty Chitty Bang Bang came from real 1920s race cars owned by Count Zborowski, connecting the fictional vehicle to authentic automotive history that preceded the story by decades. Sadly, he died at the age of 29 after crashing into a tree during a race. Zborowski gave his cars the fun name Chitty Bang Bangs and powered them with airplane engines to make them go even faster. Fact 31. The anti-Semitic stereotype controversy.
24 hours in work, it nosy grindstone.
Some critics interpret the child catcher as an anti-Semitic stereotype due to his exaggerated facial features and predatory behavior toward children in the film's most disturbing sequences. This troubling analysis suggests that the character's design unconsciously reinforced harmful ethnic caricatures disguised as fantasy villain aesthetics that children would internalize. Sometimes the most innocent-looking entertainment carries the most troubling and harmful ideological implications. Fact 32. The 2012 Olympics villain appearance.
Fools! Idiots! Out of my way!
During the 2012 London Olympics opening ceremony, the child catcher appeared among iconic British villains, uniquely performed live rather than as an inflatable balloon like other characters. This prestigious cultural recognition validated the character's lasting impact on British popular culture, despite his controversial origins and disturbing psychological effects on children. Sometimes the scariest movie villains become beloved cultural icons that define national identity. Fact 33. The Lost Master recording tragedy.
Quick! The portable wireless transmitter!
The original film soundtrack has been released 4 times on CD, but some releases lack crucial dialogue due to lost master recordings that mysteriously disappeared from studio archives forever. This preservation failure destroyed irreplaceable audio elements that could never be recreated with original cast performances or period recording techniques. Sometimes the most valuable and irreplaceable recordings vanish through simple institutional negligence. Fact 34, the post-honeycomb cereal promotion magic.
You're not Professor Potts, the inventor? Well, I'm...
Chitty appeared in post-honeycomb cereal promotions featuring pull-out wings hidden inside cereal boxes, bringing movie magic directly into breakfast routines across America. This clever marketing partnership demonstrated how successful films could extend their cultural reach through creative product tie-ins that recreated movie experiences at home. Sometimes movie magic could be literally consumed by audiences seeking to extend their entertainment experience. Fact 35, the Roger Ebert praise. Paradox.
Jeremy and I have been thinking. It's our treasure chest.
Film critic Roger Ebert praised Chitty as the best 2-hour children's movie, despite noting problematic, sappy music and obvious production issues throughout his detailed review. This critical contradiction demonstrated how family entertainment could succeed despite obvious flaws that would completely destroy adult-oriented films with sophisticated audiences. Sometimes heart and imagination matter more than craftsmanship in family entertainment. Fact 36, the Leonard Maltin Demolition Review.
Jeremy, what are you doing? I'm keeping a lookout for pirates.
Critic Leonard Maltin brutally called Chitty a real Edsel, citing forgettable musical scores and shoddy special effects that completely undermined the film's ambitious vision and expensive production values. This harsh professional assessment reflected critics' frustration with expensive productions that wasted massive resources on mediocre entertainment. Sometimes critics and audiences watch completely different movies while sitting in the same theater. Fact 37, the 1996 PC game adventure extension.
Remarkable.
Your Excellency! Your Excellency!
Oh, the
Being attacked!
A 1996 educational PC game called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's Adventure in Tinkertown featured puzzle gameplay that extended the story into interactive entertainment for computer users. This digital adaptation proved the franchise's ability to transcend traditional media boundaries while maintaining appeal for new technological platforms and gaming audiences. Sometimes movie magic works better in video games than in actual movies themselves. Fact 38, the Amazon MGM remake development.
Should she?
Would she?
Would she?
Could she?
A Chitty Chitty Bang Bang remake is currently in early development by Eon Productions and Amazon MGM Studios, proving the property's enduring commercial potential despite original production disasters. This modern revival attempt demonstrates how classic family entertainment continues attracting new investment despite original financial failures and critical reception problems. Sometimes the biggest flops become tomorrow's most promising and profitable projects. Fact 39, the Kritzerland Limited Edition Rarity.
I'm sorry about the children. I hope they didn't embarrass you.
The 2013 Kritzerland 2 CD soundtrack set included rare demos and playback tracks, limited to only 1,000 units worldwide for serious collectors seeking complete audio documentation. This exclusive release demonstrated ongoing demand for comprehensive material related to the troubled production among dedicated fans and music historians. Sometimes the most valuable content is what almost nobody gets to hear or own. Fact 40, the John Burke novelization improvements.
All right, I'll go myself. Truly, you stay here with the children.
All right, all right.
The film novelization by John Burke significantly altered the tone and added emotional depth that didn't strictly match the actual movie content or pacing. This literary adaptation created a different version of the story that some fans preferred to the filmed version for its character development and narrative coherence. Sometimes the book version of a movie is significantly better than the movie itself. Bonus fact. Here's the fact that changes everything. The child catcher wasn't just a movie villain. He became a genuine childhood trauma trigger that defined an entire generation's relationship with fear, yet also proved that the most disturbing characters often create the most lasting cultural impact. Robert Helpman's performance was so convincingly terrifying that children across Britain developed genuine phobias related to candy, strangers, and horse-drawn carriages. Child psychologists reported increased anxiety cases directly linked to the character's appearance in what was marketed as innocent family entertainment. Yet this psychological damage also created cultural bonding among survivors who shared the same childhood terror. The child catcher became a generational touchstone that united adults through shared traumatic memory, proving that sometimes the most effective entertainment scars audiences in ways they never forget. The character's lasting impact demonstrated how family films could accidentally create more powerful emotional responses than horror movies designed specifically to frighten audiences. Sometimes the most innocent entertainment produces the most profound psychological effects. Were you more terrified of the child catcher or hypnotized by the flying car? Drop your weirdest Chitty memory below, the candy nightmares or the flying dreams.